As the summer days are quickly coming to an end, there is still plenty of opportunity to get in some fishing. I only have a day, but if I had more time, I would head down to the Kenai Peninsula and do what's called combat fishing. While the salmon season is coming to a close, there are still lots of people out there fishing, some of them standing almost shoulder to shoulder for that opportunity to catch the last few salmon of the season. That's not really my thing, and as I said, I don't have that much time, so instead I'm gonna head just a few hours north. My friend and I are fishing today at Folio Lake, which is located near Fort Greely in Delta Junction, Alaska. You have to have military recreational permit to get to this lake, but so far I've done a couple casts, seen the fish going after our bait, and my friend has already caught one, so now it's my turn. Wish me luck. Fish on again? Yep. Nice. Well, maybe I'll get to catch one eventually. Oh, he's a good sized one.
Yep. Like a twin.
Beautiful fish. Beautiful, beautiful. Nibble, but no bite again. There's definitely fish in this lake. And there's nobody here, which is really nice. We have this whole lake to ourselves. It's 8 acres, I believe. Maybe more than that. I'll have to look it up. We had to be a little bit cautious coming back here today, though, because we are in a military training area. And so when there's red flags posted, certain areas are closed off. You also have to check in online before you can actually come back here.
HIMARS is a high mobility rocket system, which has the capability of shooting 6 rockets up to 400 kilometers in 12 seconds. What's really unique about what we're doing today is we're actually loaded up with 6 live rounds. Normally we do a dry fire, but today is we're going to get off the bird, shoot a 6-pack, just 6 rockets downrange, get back within 20 minutes. This training is extremely important because the biggest threat to field artillery, and especially HIMARS, is the heat signature and counterattack. What we have in plan to counteract counterfire are exactly what you see here. These high-range missions to get off, shoot within 100 meters of a plane, and load right back on within 20 minutes. So the enemy can't find out where we are and use that counterattack against us.
And you have to have, of course, your state sport fishing license, and then a military recreational permit to get back here. So have both those. And now my friend has caught 3 fish. I've caught 0. I'm going to tell him he has to chill out. That's all there is to it. So there is a ruler on my sleeve. Let's just say he goes from the end to that, and then I'll figure out how long that is. Fish on. He's a little guy compared to yours. It's about time, let me tell you. Now hopefully the camera's recording. Just a small rainbow, but he's a pretty and a keeper nonetheless. And for everybody who asked on my last fishing videos, what do I do with all these fish I keep? I eat them. It's illegal to waste wild caught game, and I wouldn't anyhow. This is food for the winter months, food for the freezer. Not that frozen trout is the best, but it's still food. Little guy again. But he's a fighter.
We let him go.
Yeah, if we can get him over here and without hooking myself.
Let me know if you want me down there.
This guy's definitely a stalker. Bye-bye, buddy.
Took off like a rocket.
Yeah. You might be asking yourself, how is it that I know that this fish is a stocked fish coming from a fish hatchery? The easiest way to tell is by looking at its fins. A lot of times what you'll see is that those front fins have been worn down due to them swimming inside of a concrete tank. However, when it comes to wild fish, you'll notice that those fins are very elongated, they're not worn down, and they're not deformed. Now, sometimes the hatcheries will cut off the adipose fin, so the very back fin on the upper side of the fish, they'll trim those off, as in this picture here of the salmon. While we did catch 4 rainbow trout out here, we're going to hit some of the other lakes in the area and see what they're all about. Wish us just as much luck. Our goal is actually to catch a grayling today. While I do love rainbow trout, grayling is much better eating. Just down the road from Bolio Lake is North and South Twin Lakes. So on that side of that little levee there is the South Twin Lakes, and this is North Twin Lakes. And again, we have both lakes all to ourselves. Let's hope that the fishing is good here. I'll have to report back to you about what type of fish are in here. The last one supposedly had Arctic grayling, which we never saw any, as well as rainbow trout. We did catch the rainbows, so wish us luck at this lake. I'm so excited. I love fishing, in case you couldn't tell. At least I'm not just feeding the fish today. Turns out that North and South Twin Lakes were a no-go for us. So we've been lazily fishing Mark Lake. Caught a trout, had a few nibbles, but only landed the one. So now we're heading off to Jay Lake and Chet Lake, and then maybe Nickel Lake. Oh, I got caught. Dang it.
Pull it straight.
It's gonna break. I have a feeling that I lost my spinner. Yep, lost my spinner. Oh well, out of the series of lakes that we've been fishing at today. This is Chet Lake. Just across the road is Jay Lake. Up the road is Nickel Lake. All wonderful, very beautiful lakes. Everywhere that I'm stopping to fish, I'm also picking blueberries. And on this little hillside, I've found quite a few. So this is just a small selection of what I found. It's a little hard to hold the phone and also pick berries at the same time. But lots of blueberries to be had. This is the season. So raspberries are ripening, blueberries, crowberries, lingonberries, you name it. They're out here. But it also means the bears are fattening up on these as well as all the salmon. So, oh, and speaking of salmon, behind me is this little spot that I like to call heaven. This is my favorite spot. And I was going to come back here today and do a little grayling fishing, but I can't because it's full of salmon, which I can't target in this area. And they've already started to turn red, which is not necessarily the time that you want to fish them. These particular salmon are sockeye salmon that have come in from the ocean all the way up the Copper River and now up the Gulkana River to their spawning grounds. These are not necessarily the fish that you want to be eating. They're more of a mushy texture, so typically used for dog food, things like that. But it is pretty cool to see them in here.
Female is the big one. The small one's the buck. Same for those two over there. And you'll see going like this. Is making the bed to lay the eggs. And then they'll come in, the female will come in and lay her eggs. And then the male will go right behind and put the semen in.
It might be a little bit difficult to see on screen right now, but if you look to the right-hand side of your screen, where you see the three fish that are kind of just staying put, those fish right there, those are females. And not only can you tell them by their size because they're bigger than the males, which the male is the one up to the top of the screen there, more to the right though. Anyhow, the females, if you'll notice, they all have white on the top of their backs, where that one male does not. The reason for that is because the males will grab a hold of the female's dorsal fins and encourage them to lay their eggs. So not only are those females larger, but their dorsal fins get chewed up and causes them to lose the coloration in it because those male fish have, been biting upon there. Nonetheless, it is very encouraging to see all of these salmon here spawning. This is a great thing to see. I understand that this year was a great year for salmon fishing. And eventually I'll get there where I'll be doing some salmon fishing. I haven't had the opportunity to catch up with some of my friends, over on the Kenai Peninsula to do some salmon fishing. Here, really the only way you're going to do salmon fishing is dip netting or with a fish well, which I just haven't taken the opportunity to do dip netting yet, but it's coming. And then after they spawn, they do die. This is their last act before their lives come to a sad close, but they do keep the populations going. No fishing in this little spot today, but that's okay. an incredibly fun time today. Caught a number of fish, all rainbow trout. We were hoping for some grayling, but at least I know some amazing lakes to come fish at in the future.